the Music and Audio Tech Pathway, and my dissertation title is Implementation of Expressive Audio Effects for the Guitarist. So for my project I wanted to look into the different ways you convey expression through different types of effects. In the past, the sort of common way of doing this, most commonly with the crybaby pedal, is the foot will tilt on the pedal, and this sort of changes the frequency response of the pedal, and creates a sound that you can hear and convey expression through during performance. So I wanted to take this further and see if there were any other ways that you could input those expressive movements. So I looked at placing lots of different sensors onto a guitar, and then connecting them to a computer where there was then some digital sound processing happening that would change dependent on how you were controlling the sensors, opening up more sort of sonic possibilities for the guitarist. I went through lots of literature, much of it from the New Instrument for Musical Expression conferences that take place every year. And it's very common to see augmented instruments where it's very recognisable as a standard instrument. However, they have been modified in a way that can either slightly change or completely change what the instrument does. So there were lots of augmented guitars where people were placing sensors on guitars or using pickups and speakers and things in different ways to change the sound of it and change what a guitar can do. So there was lots of information from that, but then I also looked at more of the commercial aspect. So why is it that effects pedals haven't really moved on from just having a tilt pedal in the sort of last 40 to 50 years? And there was no real definite answer, so it kind of motivated me to carry on with the project. So for the project, I started off by just taking a standard electric guitar and trying to mount different sensors on it at different places. And I connected them up through an Arduino to MaxMSP. So the Arduino and all the sensors are taking the information from the guitarist, and it's passing it to MaxMSP, where I had it affecting different parameters of different effects. And from this, I worked out sort of the best placements and things from some of the research matched with just sort of using the device, and eventually I worked my way towards placing the sensors in a more permanent manner, modifying the guitar further to sort of embed them as well as I could. And then through the software and various changes throughout, I then sort of reached, I guess, a first prototype of my version of an augmented guitar. To test the system, I gave the guitar and the software to several different people to try. All guitarists, all of who had played for at least two years, and all used effects pedals as well, so they were very familiar with the concept of the effect, but not necessarily modifying it while playing in these particular ways. So the participant would get a demonstration of the guitar and how it worked. They would then perform a little bit, and they had sort of 10 to 15 minutes to use it and kind of learn a little bit more about it. And then they were asked to play a short piece. And they played this over and over again, each time making use of an additional sensor on the guitar. And then what I was doing was listening to the recordings of each time they played the piece, and listening out for mistakes and points where they'd clearly tried to be expressive with the sensors. So this gave me a good idea of the effect that the different sensors would have on their playing. So as soon as people were trying to use multiple sensors at a time, it was affecting their normal playing techniques to a point where, for some guitarists, the song wasn't recognisable as the first time they played it with no effects. And in addition to that, there was some feedback given at the end to help me identify what the kind of favoured sensors were, what they thought worked and what didn't work, which kind of helped me to think about how I could develop it further. Through the testing in the project, I found that with experienced guitarists, when you gave them more opportunities to show expression through their songs with the new sensors and the effects, for many of them it kind of allowed them to become more expressive, because they could use more of these effects, and they had kind of more ways they could change the sound, and their musical intention could come through that. However, with some less experienced guitarists, it became quite clear that it was too much of a challenge to manipulate any more than one or two of the sensors at a time, so it then started to detract from their original playing style. Also, it gave me good feedback into guitar augmentation, and I found that some sensors people clearly liked a lot more than others. And while it kind of depended slightly on the effect, whether the user favoured it or didn't, it seemed to matter more how easy the sensor was to use. So some of the more complex sensors people found a lot more hard to use and didn't enjoy anywhere near as much. But overall feedback for the system was good, and it sort of suggested that people are open to the idea of guitar augmentation. So for me, the best part of the dissertation was having the opportunity to combine the two things that I really enjoy: the sort of technological aspect of the building and the electronics involved, and some of the software as well, and combining that with the music side of it. So things like actually just getting to play guitars and playing them in different ways and trying to find new ways that I could expand my musical intention and hopefully others could.